those of you who are tuning in, thank you. We have this officially recording now. So if you liked what you saw, and if you know anyone who might be interested in this or could benefit from this, then we can always, we'll have the recording out to send to those after this. And like I said, we would love to share this completely free. We're just trying to help people out and give some people a little break in the middle of their day to get moving and get a little stress reduction and mindfulness practice in during this crazy time. So without further ado, I will go ahead and I'll introduce myself, and then I'll let Amanda introduce herself as well. So again, my name is Dr. Colton Korne. I am the owner and chiropractor at Functional Performance Institute down here in San Diego. My office is right up in Kearny Mesa. My main focus of my practice is movement and exercise therapy, along with my standard chiropractic care. So it's a big passion of mine to teach people not only how to move, but why movement is so important for our bodies and for our minds. So that's kind of a short little background about me. I went to Cal State Northridge, graduated from Los Angeles College of Chiropractic last April, and then have been in practice since last April. So I'm just going to keep it short for today, and then I'll go ahead and pass it off to Amanda to introduce herself.
Yeah, thank you, Colton. My name is Amanda Dahl, and my husband Christopher and I own an energy healing practice here in San Diego called Dahl Holistic Health. We are both Reiki master practitioner teachers. We also do biomagnetic therapy, which involves using magnets. I'm also offering tapping or EFT, and we do health coaching as well as soul coaching. So we offer a lot of services that are energy medicine based. So Colton and I were really excited to bring this information to you today because he focuses largely on the physical side of the body, where we focus a lot on the energetic side of the body. So together we really feel like our practices mesh very well to help all of you today. So I'm going to pass it over to Colton. He's going to do some movement exercises for all of us to get us moving. So if anybody wants to participate while you're here on the call, just be sure to have a space. You don't need any equipment. Just be sure to have a space where you can move your body a little bit while he guides us through some energy or some motion exercises.
Yes. So just to cap off of exactly what Amanda just said, is the combination of like the physical and the energy side of the body. And so the beauty of that is, I obviously, as a chiropractor, we focus on the nervous system, and the nervous system is basically the energy powerhouse of your body. And that's basically your brain speaking to the rest of the body through your nervous system. And so everything from your heart beating in your chest to your lungs expanding and contracting, all of these are controlled through your nervous system subconsciously by your brain, similarly to how your brain can talk to your finger and make it wiggle, right? So there's that energy side, and then there's the energy in the meridians of the chi, or the other, in other practices, everyone has its own. We all believe in this standard energy system through the body. And so what I'm going to focus on today is just moving through the body and teaching people a lot of this so-called mobility or stretching work when we feel tight and stiff. A lot of times that tightness and stiffness isn't exactly related to the muscle itself being rigid, but actually is a control by the brain, and the brain controls how long or how short a muscle is. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys today, is how to connect the breath and then connect it to the brain and then through the rest of the body. So first thing that I always like to start out with is breathing. It's something that we do over 13,000 times a day. And so obviously it's very, very important that we take a little bit of time to focus on it, because it actually has a very, very big effect on our nervous system, and therefore affects a lot of the other systems of our body. And so number one, first and foremost, is what breathing can be used for. And so we have to look at, number one, when we're exercising and we're really at it, we're tired, we're breathing really, really fast. There's a reason for that, right? Our body needs oxygen. It needs to kind of keep up with the energy demands. But at the same time, we also need to have different breathing pattern for when we're trying to rest, digest, and relax. Similarly, there's another time of when we're doing stretching and different mobility work. So that's what I'm going to go into. So number one is the rest and digest. So especially right now, we're very, very sedentary, obviously, but people are still stressed and they're still a little nervous, whether it's keeping up with work from home, it's finding a new job, it's finding something to do. So number one, I tell people is, let's just start off with some easy breath work. Like I said, you're just going to go ahead, you're going to lay down on your floor, flat on your back with your knees bent, okay? I'm going to turn this down just a little bit right there. So this is a great way to get into a nice relaxed posture. Obviously, we don't have gravity compressing on our bodies, so the body can just really, really relax from this point. I like to keep the knees bent because it keeps the back from arching and lifting off the ground. So as you lay back, flatten the back, and we're just going to take a couple quick, easy, deep breaths in through here. We always were told by our moms when we're freaking out and we're stressed out, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And there's a reason for that. It's not just an old wives' tale. It actually helps to calm the nervous system down by breathing slow in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Now we're going to try something a little bit different as well with this breathing pattern, is we're actually going to focus on breathing in through the nose and trying to fill the belly with air. So if you watch me from a side view, most of us like to breathe up into the chest here, and you see the chest rising. But what I want you to do is exhale and try to breathe into the belly here. We're going to exhale all the way. Again, try this out. It's going to feel a little awkward at first, but the whole point of this is to truly relax. So don't strain yourself. Don't try to give yourself a hernia trying to do this exercise. It's supposed to be nice and calming and relaxing for you. But again, try to keep the breath slow. And then exhale. Let the belly fall all the way down. Again, anytime you're stressed, you're having something that's bothering you, really just take a second to relax, lay down, get into this position, and just breathe, okay? So based on that, we're going to continue that, and we're going to focus on that breath pattern of breathing in through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth as we go through these next stretches and trying to the mobility. So number one is I want to work on mobilizing our neck. Obviously, for a lot of us, has been sitting either at home or at a desk or on our computer, and we're sitting in this forward rounded posture. And you guys can imagine the amount of load that it puts onto the spine when we're not nice in a nice neutral position. And it's hard to keep this up all day. So I don't expect everybody to stay in this perfect static posture all day, but the goal is to try and balance out. If we're sitting in a very forward posture throughout the day, we should be taking time to get into what we call a backward or an extension-based posture. So with this, we want to work on opening up the neck, okay? So super simple, we'll just get things loosened up right now. We're going to work on extending and rolling the head back from shoulder to shoulder, primarily focusing on going backwards. Take it nice and slow. Breathe in. Exhale as you come through. We'll do this about 5 times. Take a deep breath in before you start. Exhale as you roll around the back. Again, we do so much forward posture that a lot of people feel tension in the back of their neck or the back of the shoulders. So their first inclination is to stretch the neck forward and stretch these muscles. But those muscles are actually often really tight because they're trying to pull your head back to a neutral posture. And therefore, these muscles get really tight and strong. So we want to work on more extension-based and more backwards stretches to open up the front side of the neck. And that will naturally allow these muscles to kind of relax. So after you've completed those 5 neck circles, now we're going to go into a chin tuck with an extension. So this is super simple. Our chin tuck is, again, we have this forward head posture where the ears drop forward in front of the shoulders. And a lot of people don't realize that, number one, the head weighs 13 pounds. And for every inch of forward head posture, you add 10 pounds of stress onto the base of the neck back here. So you can go from a 13 to a 23, 33, 43, 53-pound head when we're looking down at our phones. So the number one way I correct this is sitting up nice and tall, relaxing, and you're just going to take a finger and you're just going to push your chin directly backwards. Common mistake that people make when they're doing this is they tend to drop the chin down or they tend to drop the head back. I literally want you to keep your eyes on one point on the wall straight in front of you and just push the head straight back. You may feel a little stretch underneath the base of the skull back here, and that's good. We want to work on opening up that muscle right there on the back side of the neck, but we're going to work on this for just about 10 reps to open up the back side of the spine right there up underneath the skull. And also, if you notice, the ears are now sitting right about on top of the shoulders when I get back into this position. The other way I like to make this analogy is imagine that someone tries to come up and kiss you at a bar and you're like, no, thank you. So that's a good way I kind of cue it and people kind of laugh. Now what I like to do is, again, focus on strictly extension. We spend so much of that time forward, spending about maybe 10 to 15 reps 3 times a day is really sufficient to help balance out that forward head posture. So it doesn't take much, and you don't need to spend your entire day like this, because this would cause pain as well. Just like 8 hours of this would cause pain. So try and balance that out, and let's go for about 10 to 15 of these extensions. The goal is to sit up nice and straight. Try and get the ears on top of the shoulders a little bit, and then just allow the head to drop back. If you want to, you go back as far as you comfortably can before you have any pain. And you may notice that after about 8 to 10 reps that you are able to go a little bit further and a little bit further. And that's the goal with this, is we're just trying to work into this posture so you don't need to bend yourself backwards on the first few reps. Allow your body to relax. And I like to breathe in, exhale, and allow that head to drop back. We'll do a couple more, and by the end, you can actually add a little wiggle of the nose. So you can breathe in, exhale, and wiggle the nose a little bit at the top. One more. Exhale. Wiggle the nose at the end there. Again, we're really just trying to balance everything. Too much forward, too much backward, just like too much sitting or too much standing. It's just about balance, moving, and staying active as much as you possibly can. So the next thing that I want to focus on, is a scalene stretch. So what the hell is a scalene? Well, a scalene is this muscle right here on the front side of your neck. And the way that we can feel that is if we go back, we sit up nice and straight, we extend the neck back a little bit, and then we're gonna tilt. Let's start off, tilt your right ear to your right shoulder. You should feel a little bit of tension in the front side of the neck. If you wanna increase that tension, you're gonna find your left collarbone. You're gonna put your finger right underneath that left collarbone, and you're gonna press inward into the pec. And you're gonna start to feel like you're tugging on guitar strings up here. These are those scalene muscles. This is a big, big one for people, because those who stress breathe, or people who carry tension in their neck, they tend not to breathe into the belly, but they tend to breathe into the neck. So if you see people or you feel yourself and you're really, really tense and guarded, you tend to breathe into that neck. So I tell people, just relax, exhale, feel those scalene muscles. So leave those fingers right on there on the neck. And I want you to take a nice slow breath in and just exhale. See if you feel these muscles tightening. If they are tightening, you're probably stress breathing into your neck. So you need to take one hand on your neck, one hand on your belly. Try to breathe into your belly. Try not to breathe into your neck here, okay? So in this stretch, we can come in, we can tilt the head back, slightly drop the right ear to the right shoulder. You can keep that pressure if you want to just feel it, and you want to just focus on breathing into the belly and then exhaling and relaxing. letting the shoulders drop with that. And exhale. If you want to, you can add a little bit of the stretch by placing your fingertips on your forehead and assisting yourself in pushing the head back a little bit towards the back of the right shoulder. Don't overdo this, and you shouldn't feel a ton of tension yanking in your neck. So try to just take it easy into that one. Don't overdo it because these muscles are very sensitive, and we're just working into this. It takes time, and it's just a nice, easy daily stretch, but you should notice these guys start to relax and focus on that belly breathing, and you hopefully shouldn't stress breathe so much and tense up. The next one is a great stretch I like to do because a lot of us tend to sit in this forward posture, whether we're typing on a keyboard, and the shoulders start to round in as well. So this is a nice pec stretch. But when people tend to stretch their arm, whether they're in a doorway or they're trying to grab something and stretch, they tend to feel a lot of pressure through the front of this ball of the shoulder here. But that's actually not where the pec is. The main meat of the pec is right here into the chest. So during this next stretch, I want you to focus on trying to feel that stretch deep more into the pec or the meat of the chest instead of on the ball of the front of the shoulder. So this stretch is super easy. We're actually going to hop down into a laying position, and we're going to start off with just the right shoulder here, okay? So we're going to place our right arm straight out in front of us about 90 degrees, okay? And then we're going to take our left hand and put it beside us like we're in a push-up position, okay? Drop that down just a little bit. As we have this arm out to the side, you notice that this right shoulder wants to drop up towards the right ear. The cue I give people is get your shoulder back and away from your ear. So you'll actually notice you're sucking your shoulder blade back down towards your right back pocket. From this position, you should already feel some stress come off the front of the right shoulder and go into a little bit more stretch in the pec here. So drop down, get that shoulder away from your pocket, or get that shoulder away from your ear, and then use your left hand, and you're gonna start to push up and away a little bit, and then come back down. We're gonna breathe in, take that muscle to about its tension, and then we're gonna exhale. Slowly lower back down. This is where the breathing can be really important, in that we want to hold that tension of the breath, take ourselves to about the end of a comfortable stretch, and then let out a nice slow exhale. That's what teaches or trains the brain that there's no threat in the muscle, it's not getting too stretched, and that it can actually relax. The reason why we feel tightness is that if I were to push myself as hard as I could, the brain is going to sense that the pec is almost ripping. So it actually tightens up to protect itself. But if we can breathe in, hold the breath for a second, and then exhale slowly, we teach the brain there's no threat here. You can actually relax. So I want to try that out a couple more times again. We're going to work on getting the shoulder away from the ear so we feel the stretch in the pec. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. As we push up, once we get to a comfortable tension, exhale. A lot of you will actually notice that you feel the muscle a little bit relaxing a little bit, and that's a good sign. You shouldn't feel the muscle fighting you or tensing back up. If so, you're probably taking the stretch a little bit too far. So just reel it back in, go to a comfortable distance, breathe in, hold, and exhale. Do the same thing on the opposite side. We're going to drop that left arm out, shoulder away from the ear, breathe in as we push up, and then exhale and then come back down. Another common misconception that people have is static stretching. So if you were to come into this and you hold this, you can hold it for 2 minutes. But again, what happens is the brain is still sensing threat through that area. So if you're not moving through the exercise, breathing in, holding, exhaling, and then releasing from that stretch, the brain again may perceive like a consistent threat of ripping or stretching in the muscle. So it's going to end up reflexively kind of tightening itself back up. So I tell people to move in and out of the stretch. So press up, hold, come back down. Again, Do this for about 5 to 10 reps. It doesn't take much. It's not like an hour-long stretching session. It actually can be more efficient and more effective if you do it that way. So try that out. The next one is a great one. This is one that I use for mid-back mobility. So this one, number one, we're going to start off with our classic child's pose. So in yoga, obviously, we have always seen this posture where we hop down into a tabletop position, we drop the arms out in front of us, and we sit our butt back to our heels. And this is a great stretch. You can hang out in this position, breathe in. But again, I like to make it a little bit more active and add some movement into it. So what I like to do is a modified child's pose where I'm sitting in, I'm going to hop into my child's pose here. I'm going to reach my left arm across my body, and then I'm going to use my right wrist, and I'm actually going to pin it down. As I do this, you're going to feel a good stretch through the left side of your body. So hop into here, sit your butt back to your heels to a comfortable range where you're not overstretching and the muscle's not fighting you. And we're actually going to work on breathing in, and you're going to work on trying to pull your left hand back towards your body a little bit, but your right hand's kind of locking it in place. So breathe in, try to pull that right hand a little bit back into the body, and then exhale, and then release some of that tension. You can come forward again, pin that down, breathe in, and it's like you're trying to suck your left shoulder blade back down, but your right hand's blocking your left wrist. And then you're going to exhale. And you should feel yourself being able to sink down a little bit lower or sink a little bit further over to your left to increase that stretch as you go through full repetitions of this. So you can try that out for both sides and see. Again, we're just working into this, taking it easy and breathing and moving throughout the entire posture. The next variation is another good one because a lot of us get some tightness in our tricep and our lats through the child's pose. So I actually work on a modified position where I sit back onto my heels, my butt back on my heels, and I'm actually going to take my elbows and I'm going to drop those down on the ground in front of me. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to place them right over the tops of my shoulders. And then I'm going to work on sitting back into this position. This one should feel like a really good stretch through the tricep and the lat. And again, I'm going to breathe in, hold that tension on the ground, and then exhale. And I should allow my body to sink back a little bit further. Breathe in, dig your elbows into the carpet or into the ground a little bit, hold, and then exhale. One more time. Tension. Exhale. And again, that just helps out to loosen up the shoulders a lot and just really, really open up the sides of the arms here because we get a little tight and trapped in when we're typing or sitting or reading or watching TV. The very last one that I'm going to leave you guys with is probably my all-time favorite. Again, as I go over, so much of our day is spent in this forward rounded posture, whether we're sitting on our car driving, we're sitting in an office chair. We tend to sit up with really good posture for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the day. And then as we get tired, as we get lazy, everything happens, we start to round down into this forward posture, and it puts a lot of forward rounding onto the spine. And so, again, I don't expect everybody to hold themselves up like this all day. That would get really tiring on your low back. But just being able to change that position or give your back a break from that forward position and put it into a backward or extension-based position can help to loosen a lot of things up in the back side of the spine, as well as opening up the front side of the abdomen and these hip flexors. So this is my classic prone press up. This is, again, an exercise that has been researched thousands and thousands of times over to be very, very helpful for low back pain, specifically associated with sitting for long periods of time or lifting injuries. So for this one, all you're going to do is you're going to lay down on your stomach. And I always tell people to start off propped up on your elbows like you're reading a book. Again, as you look at my spine, I have a gentle a mild extension curve in my spine. And if you can just take your laptop or your phone or a book and take it onto the floor and spend maybe 30 minutes in this position, alternating with your sitting position on the couch or in your bed, this can do wonders because again, you're balancing that forward and that backward posture. But I want to take this a little bit of a step further. So I want to take this position. Again, the main cues I tell people with this position is we're not actually using our back muscles during this posture. The whole point is to relax the back muscles. As you're sitting all day, your back muscles are on because they're holding your spine upright. Now we want to let them chill out and take a break. So in this posture, I tell people to actually keep your eyes on the ground right in between your hands, or pick a spot on the carpet or on the floor. Maybe you saw that stain that you never cleaned up and you're looking at it. Just keep an eye on it and don't lift your head up through this posture. We're going to stay here. We're going to take nice deep breaths into the belly. Exhale. And as you exhale, you should feel your belly button, and almost like if you had a big belt buckle on, that's just kind of sinking into the floor. And that's okay, because we're going to take this a step further, and we're going to place our palms flat on the ground in front of us, keeping that nice 90-degree bend to the elbow. What we're going to do from here is we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Keep the eyes and head down, and we're going to press through the palms of the hands to press ourselves just a couple inches up off the ground, and then slowly come back down. Again, we're not using our back muscles. We're not lifting our head. We're just keeping our palms flat into the ground. We're relaxing the low back, so give your butt a little wiggle just to loosen things up. Breathe in, press, and then exhale into this position and slowly come back down. This can be a sensitive area for some people, especially if they have a back injury. So I tell you, slow down, only go as high as your body will comfortably allow you to. And again, focus on the breath to teach your brain that this is not a threatening position for your body. So try that out, take it slow, and work on pressing yourself higher and higher. If you can tolerate, you can bring your elbows in a little closer to your body. Breathe in, keeping my eyes down, and I'm going to exhale. Come up a little bit higher. Again, I'm working on repetitively going up and down nice and slow instead of one static hold, because again, the body can sense a little bit of threat, or this could be sensitive to someone who has a mild low back injury. So again, trying that out, going elbows down and keeping your palms flat in front of you first before bringing your hands in closer to your body. Try that out. Go for a couple reps. Again, it's maybe 10 to 15 reps, and you go for it about 3 times a day. Try it out. It should help to alleviate or start to decrease some of the symptoms in the low back. So those are some basic exercises that I like to go through, and just tips and tricks, because you've probably seen a lot of this stuff before, but without proper guidance and obviously connecting the breath to it, you will have a little bit more difficulty, or the exercise or stretch won't be as effective or as efficient for you. So try to focus on that, connect the breath to it, and remember, the whole point of this is to relax. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda, and she's going to be leading us through. Thank you guys. And yeah, Amanda, take it away.
Wow, that was excellent. Thank you so much, Colton. I can't wait to use the recording to go through all of those exercises and really be able to do it. It seems like it will be a complete workout. So thank you. It's excellent. So thanks all of you for joining us today. I am going to do a little bit of energy work with all of you. If you've never experienced EFT before, it stands for the Emotional Freedom Technique. You may also have heard of it referred to as tapping. It's a really easy technique to do, and I learned it, gosh, just over a year ago, and it has just been fantastic for times of extreme stress, or maybe you're having an acute pain. It's a great way to rewire the brain to take away from those thoughts that are contributing to keeping that mind racing. And a lot of us right now have a lot of things that we're concerned about. So it's based on the Chinese acupressure points that are connected to energy meridians in the body. Energy meridians are one of the energy systems of our body, along with, you may have heard of chakras, which are energy centers, which those are the collected areas of energy in different parts of the body. And then the other energy system is the aura, which is directly on the body and extending out a couple of feet. So this works on the energetic meridians of the body. So when we tap the ends of these meridians, it helps us to release stress and tension from those areas so that, like Colton was explaining with our breathing, so that we can start to focus on our breathing, start to release some of that stress and tension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide all of you through a cycle of doing tapping. This is something that you can come back to anytime that you're having any anxiety, any stress. If having an acute pain, this is something that's great to help give you something else to focus on. So I'm going to demonstrate doing a cycle. If you're familiar with tapping, feel free to jump in, but I'm going to demonstrate a cycle of it first, and then I'll do 3 cycles of it. Usually what you do when you're tapping is you would work through 3 times, because that helps you to step down in your anxiety each time. So how you would start when you're doing a tapping session is you're going to identify what it is that you wish to accomplish during your tapping session. So right now, a lot of people have stress. So what you would do is you would formulate it into a sort of recipe. So what you would say is, even though I'm having a lot of stress right now, I fully and completely accept myself. Because what we're doing is we're acknowledging that there's something going on, but then we've got to work on a counter statement so that we can start to rewire that thought process as we're doing the tapping. And then what you would typically do is rate that stress on a scale from 1 to 10. So let's say you start off and you're feeling really stressed out. Maybe you just got some bad news about your job, or maybe, you're just starting to feel really cooped up in the house. So I'm just going to say for today that we're going to tap for stress. You can tap for anything you want. And I offer sessions where we can tap together. And like Colton, we both offer our services remotely, and we always have. So this isn't a new business model for us to be able to work with you remotely. So this is something that we can do an individual session for if you need help figuring out what to tap for. So I'm going to say that on a scale from 1 to 10, my stress is a 9. So what you do is you start off on the karate, they call it the karate chop part of your hand, and you just start lightly tapping it. Okay. And then you would say out loud, even though I feel stressed out, I fully and completely myself. And you would do that 3 times. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. After you've done the karate chop point 3 times, you're going to go up to the outside of your eyebrows. Now for me, I have glasses, so it's a little bit different for me. So you tap there. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Then you're going to go under your eye. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. We're going to go under the nose like you're tapping a mustache. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. We're going to go to our chin, that little area under our lip, not the tip of your chin, but that little area underneath where you have a natural dip. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Okay, then we're going to go where the collarbones meet, just underneath that. That's where your thymus gland is. So we're tapping the thymus gland. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. And then you're going to take and raise one arm. And for ladies, you're going to go like where your butt is. So you're going to go just a couple inches under the center of your armpit. So like you're touching the meaty side of your pec there. So even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Then you're going to go to the top of your head. So you can see I part my hair in the middle. So you're going to tap like on each side of your part if you parted your hair in the middle. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. So now you've done one whole cycle of an EFT treatment. When I do it, the first round, I do each point 3 times like we just did. As I move through the second round, I might only say the full cycle when I'm doing my karate chop. And then the other points, I would say, but I accept myself. But I accept myself. Because what we're doing is we're starting to replace that negative thought with a positive thought. So we don't need to keep on acknowledging that negative thought. Let's start replacing it with that positive thought. Okay. So then what you do after you do that first complete round, check in. And usually you keep tapping your karate chop point while you do this, but check in with yourself. What number are you at? We started with a 9. Hopefully that number has gone down. Every once in a while, we're tapping for anxiety right now, but every once in a while, maybe your number has gone up a little bit because you're allowing yourself to acknowledge that you're feeling this stress, and maybe it was buried before. So you might start to have it ramp up a little bit, but that's why we do more than one cycle. So let's count that first one as our first full cycle. And let's say now that we're at an 8 or even a 7. So we're going to tap again. So on our karate chop point, even though I'm stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I'm stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I'm stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Now we're going to go up to the outside of the brow. I accept myself. Under the eye, I accept myself. Under the nose, I accept myself. Under the lip, I accept myself. Collar, right under the collarbone, I accept myself. Under the arm, I accept myself. Top of the head, I accept myself. Back to our chop. And then you would check in with your number again. Now, hopefully, if you're tapping with me and you came into this feeling a little bit of anxiety, I know Colton brought down our anxiety a lot just by releasing some of that muscle tension. But if you were still feeling that anxiety at the beginning, hopefully your number has gone down even more. Let's say it's at a 4 or a 5. So we're going to do another cycle. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. I accept myself. I accept myself. I accept myself. I accept myself. It does not matter which hand you karate chop on. It doesn't matter which hand you're using when you're doing just the one-handed tapping. It doesn't matter which arm you tap under, okay? So we're on under our lip, and now we're gonna go down to our collarbones. I accept myself. I accept myself. I accept myself. Back to karate chop. Check in with your number. Let's do one more round. Let's see if we can get off this call today completely anxiety and stress free, right? Just for today, just for the rest of the day, let's let yourself not worry about all the things that are going on in the world, right? We're all here. We're all doing things for our health. We're seeing other people and spending time with other people. What could be better than this in this moment, right? We accept ourselves. So even though we felt completely stressed out, right? See, we can change the language. I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I was stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. Even though I was stressed out, I fully and completely accept myself. I 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 accept myself. And end on your karate chop and check in with yourself. You see how easy it is once you learn the sequence, and we can stop if you're done. Once you learn that sequence, you can use tapping to really hone in and eliminate some of those emotions that are getting knotted up in your energy system. The key to everything that both Colton and I are teaching you today is to keep your body moving, keep that energy flowing so that you can feel good. When the body starts to have physical emotions or physical manifestations in the body, it's because energy isn't flowing. So using the tools that we have given you today can help you to feel more well-rounded and to be able to release that energy so that it's flowing all the way through. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us and doing these motion exercises, the breathing techniques, the tapping technique. I just want to share with you, both Colton and I offer 15-minute consultations so that we can tell you more about the services that we offer, or maybe you know about our services, but you need help deciding what is best for you. I know both of us offer several different services for our clients because, you know, each person is different and we like to treat our clients very individually. So while I may use tapping to release these energy blocks with some people, other people might do better with Reiki or might do better with magnets. For Colton, you know, you may need some stretching techniques, but maybe you need breathing techniques. Maybe you need a chiropractic adjustment. So we both offer that 15-minute consult so that we can talk to you and help you figure out what service is right for you. I also have, if you wanted to work with me to do some remote sessions, because again, everything that both of us do, we can do remotely. I'm offering some specials that I'm going to put in the email that I send out to you with a copy of this recording. And I'm going to pass it over to Colton, but I just want to deeply thank all of you for sitting in with us today. If you want to reach out to me, my email address is amanda@dahlholistichealth.com, and it's DAHL, holistic with an H. My website is dahlholistichealth.com, and I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all under Dahl Holistic Health. So I'm going to pass it over to Colton so he can share his final thoughts. And we look forward to hearing from all of you and helping all of you to continue to be well during this most unprecedented time. Thanks so much. Colton?
Yeah, thank you so much. Again, it's purely just here. We're purely just finding ways to help empower people just to understand their bodies and understand the relationship that they have with their body. So many times I've gone through and I've gone through different modalities, from energy healing to acupuncture to massage therapy to chiropractic, and you start to notice this common intertwining of patterns and pressure points and acupuncture points and meridian points and chakras. And so it's cool to see all those things tied together, and that we are able to kind of converge and help people out in different ways. And again, what may work for one person may not work for another person. So it's just understanding that, and also understanding that if one thing may not have worked well for you, that you can always have, you have other options, and that we want to be here to kind of help you guys and coach you and give you guys advice that, hey, this may not be a chiropractic matter. This may actually be a Reiki matter. And so being able to just kind of help cross-refer and help to manage people's conditions the best way that we can. It's just about being humble and understanding that, but also at the underlying level is just education, just teaching people and helping you understand, like I said, help you understand your body a little bit better and why these things are happening, and that there's a lot more that goes on besides just muscles and bones and nerves. And they've been able to, prove that with tons and tons of research. And so, again, please just try to stay as active and healthy and positive as you possibly can during this time. Those are really, really the biggest things. So again, please feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions. Again, we'll have more information on the email that she spoke about. And like I said, if you know anyone who could have benefited from this, or you want to go back and rewatch this to understand what we did a little bit better, then feel free to watch that recording a little bit more. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it, and have a great rest of your day. Yeah.
Colton, do you want to give your website and your social information?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so for my website, it's super easy. Again, it's Functional Performance Institute. Initials are FPI, not the FBI, but FPI. FPISandiego.com. If you want to email me, my email is colton@fpisandiego.com. Again, you can check out my website. I have a blog and I have Instagram, same exact thing, at FPI San Diego. And I've been putting out a bunch of free content over the past couple of weeks for home exercises and stretches and mobility work that you guys can do at home as well. So feel free to check all that stuff out. And yeah, hope to speak with you guys soon.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.